One. Over the last couple of weeks, you would have probably witnessed a series of demonstrations outside the office of the Parliament building where contractors who are owed certain monies by the URP agricultural program have been demonstrating for their payments. Today I want to clarify some of the issues involved around those payments and to bring you up to date as to where we are on that. But firstly, let me explain that the URP program is divided into three. URP Agriculture, which comes under the Ministry of Food Production, URP Social, which comes under the Ministry of the People, and URP Infrastructure, which comes under the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, under my responsibility. However, the administration of the program, which includes payments to contractors after careful verification of the works done, is done by the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. Last year, the Ministry of Food Production gave out 289 contracts for the purpose of, in the Ministry of Food Production, for the purpose of cleaning rivers, drains, and building agricultural access roads. There are about 57 contractors who are involved in these 289 projects. When these requests for payments were made by the contractors, I decided that we should do an audit to ensure that the work that we are being asked to pay for was in sync with the scope of works that was given out to the contractors. Having started that audit, we discovered in the first 30 projects audited that only about 40 to 45% of the work was completed. There were a few projects in which 100% of the work was done. But in majority of cases, what was being asked for by the contractors was not in consonance with what the scope of works were. In other words, the bills that they submitted were way higher than the amount of work that we've discovered was done in the various areas. Of course, they feel that they should be paid for what they were given to do. But we cannot pay for work that is not visible, nor work that cannot be found. And in one particular case, one contractor who had, I believe it was 9 jobs, submitted payments for the 9 jobs, but 3 of the jobs, nothing was done at all. And this is why the audit became very, very important. So the first 30 jobs, approximately $10.2 million was the amount that the contractors submitted. After the audit, only about $4.3 million of work found that could be payable. Those 30 contractors whose work was audited, those payments are pretty well ready, and they will be paid sometime next week. 43 other jobs files were also given out for audit, of which contractors turned up to show us 16 of those jobs. In many cases, the contractors are not turning up now to show us where these jobs are. And it's very possible that these jobs are not done at all and that payments are submitted. You would appreciate that as a responsible member of government and the cabinet, that I cannot in good conscience pay for anything that is not done or that cannot be proven to be done. And that is the position we have taken. It's not that we are saying to people we are not going to pay you, but we are prepared to pay you for the quantum of work that was in fact completed. And that is the issue at hand, and I thought I should bring the media up to date on this matter so that you will understand that there is no issue of the government saying we are not paying. It is paying on the quantum of work that was done. And the audit is showing that in many cases the amount of work claimed for was not done as specified. I'll take your questions now.
Now, since we start wondering
The audit is being done by the Audit Division of the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure and the URP.
What about other projects in all of the ministry? Will you be looking at those as well in terms of those being working? Because you also have the complaint of contractors that when they do work for the government, there are delays in payments for sometimes you know give them another year.
That is something that we're looking to. I'm speaking specifically about the delays in payment, but very often a delay in payment is not necessarily due to the ministry. Sometimes the bills that are submitted, there are errors on the bills, and these also have to be checked and verified before payments are made. But in general, the Ministry of Works has not been negligent in making payments to people.
So the contractors is not completing the works. What is the ministry telling them? That they have to complete before they are finished?
No, they have submitted their bills. And they have submitted bills, for the value of the contract they were given, except that the work that they did is not equivalent to the value of the contract. So we are prepared to pay on the quantum of work that's done. Over the months of June to maybe mid-June to end of August or September of 2013, $116 million was claimed by the contractors.
In the opening statement, transparency and good governance was one of the things that was portrayed by the speaker. Were there budgets that were established for these jobs?
There were no budgets that was established for those jobs in terms of the jobs that were given out. So that is where part of the problem arose. And that, as I said, this was under the Ministry of Food Production.
Documents have been sent to me showing signatures of the Minister of Agriculture who had signed off on the $118 million worth of contracts. A document was also sent to me showing where qualified accountants had gone into the system to do the analysis, and I understand it was based on the financial request. Those have been signed off by 3 officials who have ACCA and the necessary qualifications. And the people in the ministry that is looking after this project, are they as qualified as this?
Yes, they are, and they are accustomed to doing audits. I don't know the documents that will refer to you, but you will realize that do 289 projects, audit 289 projects properly across the country will take you some time. And we are into the 3rd phase, so we are just up to about 100 of the audits.
A significant number of the projects were in Chaguanas West. During the election period. Was there particular focus on it?
I don't know. The projects are distributed all over the country. Chaguanas West is just one of those areas that has a lot of agricultural land also, and the whole central region, but the projects were done all over Trinidad.
And the final question. In view that this situation wasn't done budgeted, how would you calculate what was the right payments?
You base it on the bill of quantities and the amount of work done, because you know what the prices are. If you're cleaning a drain with an excavator, for example, you'll know per meter what it will cost to clear a drain. If you're building a road, you'll know from the bill of quantities what materials are required and what has to be done.
So the contractors go with the Ministry of Works people to ascertain these jobs because they are giving the impression?
The contractors whose work have been audited went with the Ministry of Works. And will not as the Ministry, but the audit team to look at these jobs, right? And so far, 46 of those contractors went out, and we looked at the jobs that they did. 46 jobs, sorry. Contractor went out to choose 46 jobs.
What we have ascertained is a fraudulent action on behalf of a contractor. Will we see the government taking action against those contractors for fraud?
What I can say is that if it becomes necessary, it becomes necessary. But at this stage, what we are trying to do is that people have worked, because some of them were subcontractors to contractors, and we want to ensure that people who have put money out and there is verifiable work, that these people are compensated for the work that they have done.
Mr. Amar, you did say it was the final question. You asked 3 more after that. The reason why the Minister took your questions after his first presentation is because he has to leave very shortly for a very important meeting, and hence the reason why we gave him the opportunity to respond to you. So we continue with the presentations of the ministers on the podium, and our second minister is the Honourable Clifton Dikoto, Minister of